situation we're dealing with, and I was reading the South African plan, or the government plan. It's called the South African National Plan Against Xenophobia and Racism, which recently was released. And it touched on something very important, but I think which we realize with the topic of today's discussion, Afrophobia, is that it's in South Africa, race and identity is very interlinked. And I'm going to touch on my own experience and how I have come to be defined as African now, but how I was never defined as African. So colonial powers designated races, and they did this so that they had a workforce. It's one sociological theory, you can agree or disagree, but it's the argument I'll hold today, right? We then get into an apartheid system, which then designates races or race because they want to oppress or reap the benefits or economic benefits. And so society then adopts this. And I was defined as Indian. I grew up in an area because of colonial structures, apartheid structures, called an Indian area. My whole life being told I'm Indian, right? Society attributed that role to me. Indian South African. I thought nothing more than that. And then my colleagues talked about education. And I took sociology as part of my medical degree as well. And I learned that actually, race is a social construct. Am I really Indian? And I started questioning all of this. I then went on to wearing some African dresses, finding my identity, etc., etc. And now I identify myself as African. It's been a long process. And it's been a process where society has given me a certain box. And society continues to classify me. But that is not the classification that I identify with. And I think many of you in the room would or wouldn't understand. Sometimes we say we're South African, right? But what exactly does that mean? I was at a conference in Morocco, and I love transitioning between identities. Because I look a little bit Egyptian, I wore a Moroccan dress, and then you sound South African. The only thing people were thinking is, where exactly does she come from? And 2 weeks ago, I got to travel with, and I brought this as a bit of a show and tell, right? So you can see it does exist. The African Union does exist in some way. 2 weeks ago, I got my African Union passport, right? And I am an African. Don't be confused by this. This is maybe my verification, I guess. But anyways, it's the first time I went to the airport with this passport. And I realized when the person at the immigration office said, sorry, what nationality are you? This is an African passport. And I said, what do you mean? I'm African. And she said, no, but where do you come from? And so people are still demanding to make you South African, even though you are African, you identify as African, you say you're African.